Now, an actual avowed socialist is on the verge of getting elected to the city council in Seattle in an upset over a Democrat who'd been in office for 16 years. Economics professor and Occupy organizer Kshama Sawant has been declared the winner of the seat by the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, though election results have not yet been certified. Sawant ran on a platform of raising the minimum wage to $15, supports a tax on millionaires to help fund education and public transportation. She argues that capitalism, quote, has failed the 99%. If she holds on, Sawant will be the first socialist elected to the Seattle City Council in at least a century.
I will do my utmost to represent the disenfranchised and the excluded, the poor and the oppressed, by fighting for a $15 an hour minimum wage, affordable housing, and taxing the super rich for a massive expansion of public transit and education. The election of a socialist to the council of a major city in the heartland of global capitalism has made waves around the world. Join with us in building a mass movement for economic and social justice, for democratic socialist change, whereby the resources of society can be harnessed not for the greed of a minority, but for the benefit of all people.
Sisters and brothers, you and I are part of history. History is always made by the struggle of regular people like you and I. And who are we? We are the Walmart workers, the airport workers, the retail workers, the fast food workers, the child care workers, the healthcare workers, the teachers. We who built labor unions, we who launched 15 Now and the fight for 15. We who rallied and protested and dragged the political establishment kicking and screaming to concede a $15 minimum wage. This did not happen because the government suddenly decided to care about workers. We made it happen.
But the policy we passed here on 15 is really important. But policy is really only frozen power, and power only comes from a disruptive force. Kshama has been that disruptive force in this city's politics and on this city council. And that's why there are a lot of comfortable and well-off people who want nothing more than to buy an election and stop her from returning to City Hall. There are a lot of people in rooms much smaller and much more comfortable than this raising money to stop her from being reelected this fall. They want to turn back the clock on what we did for 15. They want to turn back the clock on what the voters did when they elected her in 2013. And that's why it's so important that we all stand united to re-elect Kshama. And I've got some bad news. I know it's a little warm in here tonight, but the truth is that it's going to have to get a little warmer and a little hotter before this thing is done, because elections are not won by sitting and listening to speeches. Elections are won and lost by giving dollars and knocking on doors and making phone calls and volunteering your time. And that's what I need you all to do between now and August to re-elect Kshama Sawant to City Council. You know, Mahatma Gandhi said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. Right now, there are a lot of people fighting against Kshama's re-election. We need to make sure she wins, because 100 years from now, no one's going to remember my name or your name or any celebrity's name or any senator's name. They're going to remember whether a handful of courageous souls in the upper left corner of this country had the courage to stand up for the American dream when it was at its greatest level of risk. Thank you very much.
Demonstrators who are out here, Anderson. The crowd has not really gotten that much smaller. You can see right where Trump Tower is on Fifth Avenue, that section between 56 and 57 still blocked by thousands of protesters who jammed into the street here. You can see that one man up there on a street light